Today you're going to learn how to make briolette wraps, like these two right here, and they're handy for making really pretty embellished chains like this, or for earrings, pendants. You can use it in a lot of areas of design. So the tool setup that you'll want chain nose pliers, also known as needle nose, bent chain nose, round nose, and flush cutters. Flush edge right there. And then of course your briolette, which is a teardrop bead that is drilled this way. If you have a vertically drilled drop, you'll want to learn how to wire wrap using a head pin, which is another one of our videos. I'm just going to show you the steps without explaining them so you can get an idea for the sequence of events, and then I'll come back and explain exactly what I'm doing step by step. There you have it. So now I'm going to show you the same thing that you just saw, but I'm going to explain what I'm doing step by step, and this time I'm going to attach it to the end loop of this chain. So another thing that I'm going to show you is how to cap your briolette, and for that you're going to need a much longer piece of wire. If this is your first time doing this technique, I would suggest doing it as I did previously with the shorter piece, but all the same steps will apply except for the length of wire and the very, very end of the last step. So I'm going to cut a long piece of wire. For capping it, you usually need a piece around a foot long, maybe a little less. So I'm going to take it. So, and for this you're going to want a short tail and a long tail. So I'm going to take it, bring it up the sides of the bead like that, and then I'm going to pull them so that they cross. And this is the foundation for your wrap. So you do want to make sure that where the wires cross matches up with where the tip of your briolette is, like that. So now I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers and pinch these together where they cross, gently but firmly enough where you bring the wires together, like so. And now I'm right-handed, so I want the long tail to be on the right and the short tail to be on the left. And the short tail is just a support that you're wrapping it around. That's why it doesn't need to be terribly long. The long tail needs to be long because you're going to use all of this while you're wrapping it around. So you come in with your chain nose pliers. You're going to take your long tail, bend it at a right angle away from you, like so. Now you have an angle made like this. You're going to come in with your round nose pliers and grab so that the short tail is coming in front and the long tail is coming out the back, like this. Short tail in the front, long tail in the back. You do not want to grab it like this. So make sure that your pliers are like mine are. You're going to take this long tail, going to bring it towards you and down, like so. Then you're going to loosen the bottom jaw of your round nose and rotate your plier up so that the bottom jaw is now on top like that. So you're going from here, make sure to let go, and then up. And then once you have that, you're going to take this long tail and pull it around the side towards the right hand and back. And do this tautly because you're using the round nose to make your loop. So now it should look like this. So you're going to take it out. And then before I do the next step, I just like to get everything in order so that everything are at proper and tight angles to make that nice angle. And then now I'm going to turn it around so that the long piece of wire is coming across the top. And if you don't have bent chain nose pliers, you're going to want to invest in a pair if you're going to be doing a lot of wire wrapping, because if you're using regular chain nose, you cock your hand in and that's really bad for your joint right here, and you can get arthritis and carpal tunnel that way. So it's worth the investment. See, it's a much more comfortable angle to be holding things at. So when it's here, this is the point where you want to attach it to whatever loop or chain you might want to. Turn it towards me with the long tail facing away. Then I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers and grab it by the loop right here and just pull it out to the side a little bit. So now I just have it pulled open a little bit and I did not mangle my loop. Be careful not to pull towards you as you're doing that, just step away. So now that that's opened, gonna put your chain on. Be gentle while you're doing this. So now you can see I have my chain slipped on there. And you're gonna come in with your bent chain nose pliers, and you're not gonna be able to fit it in the angle right there, but you will be able to in the tip, and my hand is still at a comfortable angle. Then you're going to come in with your chain nose pliers, and with a long piece of wire like this, you need to be very careful while you're wrapping not to kink it along the way. So if this is your first Briolette wrap, your first couple are going to be very organic looking, but just keep practicing and you'll get better and better with the technique as you get more comfortable. So don't do your first couple tries with, sterling silver or gold fill wire. Use craft wire. So I'm going to grab it about an inch, inch and a half away. Bring it around away from me. Let go with the plier. Reposition. Reposition. Bring it around. Release. Grab, and I'm kind of grabbing in that corner that I keep making. Around. And then as you get more experienced, and if you have nice ergonomic tools like this, you can rotate it in your hand so that you don't have to make all those stops and it's a little more fluid. So that's what I'm going to start doing here. Just keep wrapping it around and around. So if you're going to cap it, you want to stop pulling so tautly at that point, where you're starting to bring it down around the sides of the Briolette. So you want it to just kind of naturally form to that frame that you made. So keep bringing it around and around until you feel like you have an adequate cap, which that most certainly is. So now, if that's not your thing, you can of course stop right at the top and then you see the whole Briolette. It's a matter of taste. And so I'm going to come in my flush cutters, snip that guy, and then come in with my chain nose. Push that in. You can also use the side of your plier to help. And you want to be careful at this point because you can crush your cap at this point and warp it. So that's pressed in. I rub my finger along it to make sure that there aren't any burrs and that it is securely pushed in. And then to take care of this short tail, pull it to the side. Come in with your flush cutters, make sure that you don't have the loop or the chain in there also. And you just snip. And then make sure that that isn't catching anything. If it is, you can come in with an emery board or a file set. And that is how you Briolette wrap. I hope you enjoyed it. All these materials are available on beadshop.com, so swing by and visit us sometime. Thank you very much.